Welcome back. Let's look at how to stop being your worst enemy. Imagine you are hiking up a steep mountain. The path is rocky, the air is thin, and every step feels harder than last. You're exhausted, but you are still moving forward. Then suddenly, a voice in your head starts whispering, "You're not strong enough to do this. You are going to fail. Why did you even start this journey? It's crazy." The climb was difficult enough, but now, with this voice echoing in your mind, it feels impossible. Can you feel the heaviness now developing as you're listening to this? My name is Fuentes, and I help professionals to break through limitations and succeed at a personal and professional level, conquering those old negative thoughts and inner chatters and living a happier life and wealthier is the key for your success. So this is what negative self-talk does. It turns a challenging situation into an immeasurable and unmountable one that is impossible to overcome. So when you're a professional already facing constant challenges, tight deadlines, high expectations, and external pressure, that inner voice can become your biggest obstacle to succeed. The silent saboteur. So let's see how this negative self-talk erodes confidence and leave you feeling anxious. You've probably been there. Things aren't going as planned, maybe a project fell through, or you received criticism from a client or a colleague. And suddenly, that voice in your head turns on. You are not good enough. You'll never succeed. You are a fraud. These words may be silent, but their impact is loud. Negative self-talk is one of the most destructive behaviors you can engage in. Yet, it often goes unnoticed. It creeps in during moments of stress and failure, amplifying the doubt. And before you know it, you're stuck in a loop of criticism and self-sabotage. And the more you listen to this inner critic, the more you start to believe it. And with every passing day, your confidence erodes, taking your motivation and productivity with it. So consider the story of Eleanor Roosevelt, one of the most influential figures of the 20th century. Despite her public success, she battled intense self-doubt throughout her life. In her early years, Eleanor struggled with feelings of inadequacy, constantly comparing herself to others and internalizing the negative self-talk. But instead of letting it defeat her, she acknowledged the voice and chose to rise above. Her famous quote, "No one can make you feel inferior without your consent," is a testament to how she learned to overcome the negative voices in her head and transform her mindset into one of resilience and confidence. So why is it so hard to stay positive? Negative self-talk isn't just a bad habit. It's deeply rooted in how your brain works. Research suggests that we have thousands of thoughts every day, many of which are negative due to our brain's natural tendency to focus on potential threats. This mechanism, while once was useful for survival, often works against us now. In this modern professional environment, it's no longer useful. So studies show how rumination and negative thinking patterns reveal that persistent negative self-talk can lead to anxiety, depression, and decreased performance. I'm sure you see that as well. A research paper published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology found that individuals who engage in repetitive negative thoughts, such as rumination and self-doubt, are significantly more likely to experience anxiety and depression. That was the Nolan Huxman in 2008. So this highlights the real mental health risks posed by unchecked negative thinking. I'm sure you are aware of that. In fact, research shows that people who focus on negative self-talk are more likely to experience lower self-esteem and reduce cognitive performance, making it harder on any task and to meet goals. It's stopping you. It's like driving a car, driving with the handbrake own negative self-talk is like trying to drive a car with the handbrake on, and you can feel the tension. You might still be moving, but it's sluggish, slow, and far more difficult than it needs to be. Instead of cruising towards your goals, you're constantly fighting against the resistance that comes there from your own mind. And here's the kicker. While you're busy fighting this internal battle, you're wasting precious energy that could be used to solve the external challenges you are facing. It's counterproductive. You're making an already difficult situation harder by allowing your own thoughts to work against you. So let me tell you the story of Tom. We met Tom, and he was an entrepreneur, very successful in the tech industry. He was driven, ambitious, and talented. But over the past few months, as his company faced increasing competition, he noticed a shift in his mindset. Instead of feeling confident in his abilities, he began to doubt himself. And every time something went wrong, a missed deadline, a small drop in performance, Tom's inner critic would take over. You are not cut out for this. You're going to lose everything. As a self-negative talk grew louder, Tom's confidence plummeted. He started second-guessing his decisions, hesitating to take risks, and ultimately, his performance suffered. What Tom didn't realize was that the biggest challenge he was facing wasn't external, it was internal. His negative self-talk was the handbrake holding him back. It wasn't until we started working together that he saw the pattern. By learning to recognize and challenge his inner critic, he was able to shift his mindset and regain confidence. The external challenges didn't disappear, but Tom's ability to handle them improved dramatically once he stopped sabotaging himself from within. Your mindset is your greatest asset. At the heart of this issue is a simple truth. Your mindset can either be your greatest asset or your biggest liability. Constant challenges are given in any professional life, but how you respond to those challenges is what makes the difference between success and failure. If you allow negative self-talk to take over, you will be fighting an uphill battle every day. But if you learn to recognize and manage the inner critic, you free yourself to perform at your best, no matter what challenges come your way. So here's what you can do. Recognize the negative self-talk. Start by paying attention to your inner dialogue. Most of the times we don't even realize it's there. When you hear the critical voice, don't ignore it. Acknowledge it, but don't accept it is true. It's not. Challenge and reframe these thoughts. When you catch yourself thinking, I'm not good enough, ask yourself, is this really true? How did I get here? What evidence do you have to support this? And often you'll find that these thoughts are based on fear and not facts. And fear is false evidence appearing real. And finally, reach out. The time is ticking. How much longer do you want to drive your life with a handbrake on? How does this affect your pocket and your health? The time is now. I invite you to reach out. You will find the book, The Beat Sight and Gain Confidence System, coming out very shortly now in January. Go there, grab it. It's going to give you lots of tools to help you. Reach out here, comment, share. Tell me how you're doing. Book a free consultation. And most of all, come along to our workshops. You're going to learn tons of things that are going to make your life easier, and you're going to break free from this paralysis that you're in. I look forward to seeing you very soon.